day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I am Mike Egobadia. Here are our top stories. JAMB cautions candidates ahead of 2026 UTME. ADC faction targets Jonathan Saraki Makinde in French expansion push. And Nigeria-UAE seal economic partnership agreement. And on the foreign scene, United States sends military supplies to Nigeria in fight against insurgency. And talking sport, Ghanaian referee Leia appointed for Nigeria versus Morocco. Now to the news in full. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has issued strict guidelines for candidate registering for the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exam and Direct Entry. In a statement on Tuesday, JAMB Registrar Professor Isaac Oloide warned candidates that no changes to the biodata will be allowed after registration is completed. He said any update from the National Identity Management Commission will only be reflected under strict conditions during the registration process. The board also cautioned candidates against multiple registration, stressing that registering more than once will invalidate all applications. JAMB further warned that the use of multiple national identification numbers or any form of identity manipulation will attract severe sanctions. On biometrics verification, JAMB said candidates must ensure that only their own fingerprints are captured at the CBT centers, noting only candidates who pass biometric screening on examination day will be allowed to sit the UTME or mock examination. JAMB also barred parents, guardians, and third parties from assessing candidates' profile, warning that candidates will be held responsible for any changes made during the login details. The board ordered the candidate must disclose any previous admission or matriculation status during registration, as false declaration will automatically invalidate the application. JAMB reiterated that registration must be done only at approved centers nationwide, which will be monitored live from its headquarters, warning that any registration carried outside these centers may be cancelled. Still talking about education, the University of Maiduguri has dismissed a viral social media video claiming that some of the students were arrested for collaborating with Boko Haram. Now, in a statement on Tuesday, the university registrar, Ahmed Lawan, described the claim as false, baseless, and misleading. He stressed that no student have been found to have links with Boko Haram or any extremist group. Lawan emphasized that UNIMAID has always promoted peace, countered violence, extremism, and support national security efforts, particularly in Nigeria's northeast. He added that university community is made up of disciplined students and staff focused on academic pursuits and moral development. Now, the statement urged parents, guardians, and the media and the public to ignore the misinformation, warning that spreading such false narrative could create unnecessary panic and damage the university's reputation. UNIMAID reaffirmed its commitment to academic excellence, moral discipline, and the promotion of peace, security, and national unity. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, says it's intensifying effort to expand its political base ahead of the 2027 general election with an open call to former President Goodluck Jonathan, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, and other prominent political figures to join the party. The call followed the inauguration of the party's Northeast Zonal Congress Committee in Gombe State. ADC Factional National Chairman Nefiu Gombe said the move signals a renewed drive to strengthen the party's internal structures, promote internal democracy, and also reposition the ADC for national leadership. Now, according to a communique issued after the ceremony, Mrs. Patient Alex was appointed chairperson of the Northeast Zonal Congress Committee, while Mr. Abayomi Adekule was named chairman of the Zonal Appeal Committee. Gombe described the development as a critical step towards consolidating the party's presence at the Northeast and ensuring transparent and credible congresses across the zone. The ADC also appealed to several serving governors, elder statesmen, and national leaders, saying their experience and leadership are vital to building a credible alternative political platform. The party reaffirmed its commitment to inclusive governance, national unity, and also sustainable development. The latest move comes amid renewed political realignment weeks after the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi defected to the David Mark-led ADC, fueling speculations about merging alliance ahead of the 2027 elections. Still on politics, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, or IPAC, has rejected claims by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, that political parties across Nigeria are uniting under his leadership in a so-called Rainbow Coalition to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election in 2027. IPAC National Publicity Secretary Egbeola Martins described the minister's remark as unfounded and also misleading, insisting that Wike has no mandate to speak for political parties. Martin emphasized that parties are independent institutions governed by their constitutions and internal processes, and decisions on coalition, alliance, or endorsement must come from their official organs. He also warned against attempts to appropriate the collective will of the party for personal political gain. Now, contrary to Wike's assertion, IPAC noted that some parties are considering voluntarily support for Rivers State Governor Simi Fubara, including possibly not feeding governorship candidate to promote peace and stability in the state. Last week, Wike urged other states to emulate Rivers' so-called Rainbow Coalition model, claiming it transcends party lines and promotes unity and shared purpose. IPAC, however, says such claims do not reflect the independent choice of political parties. Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates have signed a Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, marking a major milestone in trade and investment relation between both countries. The agreement was signed on the sideline of the 2026 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week Summit with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the UAE President Ahmed Ben Al Nahar in attendance, alongside senior government officials from both nations. Now, President Tinubu said the deal will immediately eliminate tariff on more than 7,000 Nigerian produce entering the UAE, including agricultural, industrial goods such as fish, cereal, cotton, pharmaceutical, and chemicals. He added that over the next 3 or 5 years, tariff on Nigerian machinery, vehicles, electric equipment, apparel, and furniture will also be removed. Under the agreement, Nigerian businesses will be able to establish operations in the UAE, while business visitors may stay for up to 90 days annually. Corporate executives as skilled professionals will also be eligible for renewable 3 years of residence visas. President Tinubu noted that the CEPA removes barriers to foreign direct investment, boosts investors' confidence, and also supports Nigerians' industrialization drive, job creation, and improve transport and logistics. He added that Nigeria will also remove tariff on about 6,000 imported products, mainly industrial input and machinery, while maintaining its import prohibition list. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduola, described the agreement as a strategic tool for economic transformation, urging Nigerian manufacturers to expand production for export. They said the deal positioned Nigeria as a gateway to the African Continental Free Trade Area's 1.4 billion personal markets.
The adoption of artificial intelligence, AI, to optimize efficiency is no longer a matter of the future. Therefore, as we work to ensure a stable and reliable energy supply, we are actively seeking partnership that promote technology transfer, knowledge exchange, and innovation.
Oduola revealed that UAE investors have already shown strong interest in Nigeria, supporting projects in infrastructure, agriculture, digital banking, real estate, and retail. She assured that relevant government agencies will support businesses to fully benefit from the agreement and encourage private sector to seize new opportunities in the UAE market. Still talking business, the World Bank says the global economy is showing stronger resilience than earlier expected, despite persistent trade tensions and policy uncertainty. In its latest global economic prospect report, the bank projects global growth of 2.6% in 2026, rising slightly to 2.7% in 2027, an upward revision from its previous forecast, driven largely by stronger performance in the United States. However, the bank warns that the 2020s are still on track to be the weakest decade for global growth since the 1960s, with slow growth widening income gaps between advanced and also developing economies. The report says global inflation is expected to ease to 2.6% in 2026, while growth in developing economies is forecasted at about 4.0% in 2026, improving modestly in 2027. World Bank chief economist Indiment Gill urged government to boost investment, liberalize trade, and also strengthen fiscal discipline to avoid prolonged slow growth and also rising unemployment. With that, we need to go on the break now, but when we come back, more news and in the foreign scene as much as sports right here on Atlantic TV.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back now to the rest of the news. The United States African Command says the U.S. forces have delivered critical military supplies to Nigeria, supporting the country's ongoing security operation. Now, in a statement on X, AFRICOM confirmed that the supplies was handed over to Nigerian partners in Abuja as part of effort to strengthen bilateral security cooperation. The command described the delivery as a demonstration of the shared commitment between the United States and Nigeria to tackling security challenges. The move comes amid Nigeria's continued military campaign against insurgents, bandits, and other security threats across the country. While details of the equipment were not disclosed, the delivery underscores ongoing collaboration, including training, intelligence, and logistics support aimed at boosting Nigerians' counter-terrorism and stability operations. AFRICOM, a United States Department of Defense command responsible for operations across Africa, had previously worked with Nigeria on strike against terrorist group, including a Christmas Day operation in Sokoto State that reportedly killed several militants. So on the foreign scene, Uganda authorities have imposed a nationwide internet shutdown just days before the country's presidential elections, sparking renewed concerns over political repression. Government regulators ordered mobile network operators to block public internet access from Tuesday evening. Internet monitoring group NetBlock later confirmed a nationwide disruption in connectivity. The shutdown comes ahead of Thursday vote in which President Museveni is seeking to extend his nearly 4 decades in power. He is being challenged by opposition leader and pop star turned politician Bobby Wine. Security forces have reportedly arrested hundreds of opposition or supporters and used live ammunition and tear gas to disperse pro-Wine rallies. Veteran opposition figure Kiza Bisinga remains in detention in treason charge. The United Nations Human Rights Office had criticized Uganda's authority, warning of an environmental marked by intimidation and repression ahead of the election. The government, however, says the internet blackout is necessary to curb misinformation, electoral fraud, and security risks. Authorities have also ordered 2 right groups critical of the government to suspend their activities.
The internet restriction directed is in line with the legitimate purpose, that is protecting national security, public safety, and public order.
Previously shut down the internet during the 2021 election despite earlier assurance that answers will remain available this time. More than 20 million voters are registered for election, with 8 candidates contesting the presidency in the East African nation. Away from that, now to sports. The Confederation of African Football has appointed Ghanaian referee Daniel Liye to officiate the 2025 African Cup of Nations semi-final between Morocco and Nigeria. The high-profile clash will take place later today at the Prince Abdullah Stadium in Rabat, with kickoff set at 9 p.m. Larry will be handling his second match of the tournament, having earlier officiated a group stage encounter between Burkina Faso and Algeria. He will also be assisted by officials from South Africa, Lesotho, and Mozambique. while video assistant referee duties will be led by South Africans Abogili Tom, supported officials from Tunisia and also Kenya. CAF also confirmed the officiating crew for the other semi-final between Senegal and Egypt, scheduled for 6 p.m. Gabonese referee Priya Acho will be in charge of the match, with VAR supported by Kenya's Peter Kumaku. Both matches will determine the finalists for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Roma's Italian club campaign came to a dramatic end on Tuesday as they fell 3-2 at home to Torino. The group looked to have hope when 16-year-old prodigy Antonio Arena, on his debut, headed in a leveler late in the game. Arena, who has represented Italy at youth level, sent the Stadio Olimpico into celebration with his first touch for the club, but Torino snatched a victory in the 90th minute through Imakan Ilan. After Chi Adams' earlier brace and Mario Hermoso goal had given the victors the lead, Torino will now face Serie A leaders Inter Milan in the next round of the Italian Cup. Roma's elimination odds to their struggle in the league once briefly topped Serie A after the 12th match day. The group has now lost 4 of their last 8 games and 6 assists. Meanwhile, the last group of 16 fixtures will see Fiorentina take on European chasing Como on January the 27th. With that, sporting news brings us to the end of the news right here on Atlantic TV. But you do know, if you have any newsworthy reports, we'll do nice if you can send it to our different social media platforms, and we'll be more than happy to oblige you. I still remain Michael Gobadia. Bye for now.